Hi, Cleveland. How you doing, bud? Boy, I really hope that I have this. You'll have to bear with me here because I have no idea what I'm doing. Cleveland, Cleveland, would you mind uh, modding for me for now, just in case? Cleveland, Double A, and Henrik. There we go. Now I got 3 of you guys. Um, if you don't want to be a mod, then just let me know. I figured I can trust you guys, so probably no need to have 400 different mods since we're brand new. But so I'm Dan. My shop. Well, my garage. It's going to be my shop. I'm slowly working on it. I appreciate that, guys. I guess we'll give it a couple of minutes to see if people show up before I start doing anything. But there's a laser running, doing its thing. Making now I'm gonna break that. It's not gonna sit right. That should be about right. Making some little making some little things like this. So I can put that in here. Like this. Little cutout football and little football players for a local football team. Appreciate you guys. You guys, oh, there it is. All messages. Appreciate you guys popping in. If there's any issues, like with the audio or video or anything, just let me know. I'm going to try to mute the audio anytime I turn on a power tool because they're stupid loud, and I don't know how much the phone will pick up. The laser can do light metals. Supposedly, you can cut up to 2 millimeter metal. I haven't tried it. As close to metal as I've gotten is the engraving on my board butter tins. Perfect. Thank you. So with those, it's not really engraving the metal so much. It's burning off that black coating that's on them, some sort of a paint. There is different sprays and coatings that you can put on metals to engrave. So you'll burn that, and that stuff will stay on the metal, and then you can just wipe everything else off. Hi, Rhea. It's good to see you. But that's not so much engraving the metal. This particular laser is just, it's not where it needs to be. It needs to be on this side of the shop, but mid-construction and cleanup here, so it gets to set on this little rinky-dink table for now. But this particular laser, being a diode, it probably can't do too much. Any shiny surface that laser will just kind of reflect off of. The CO2 lasers and the fiber lasers, they're much better at engraving metal. Fiber for sure. CO2 I think is better. I haven't really played with one. I don't have one to play with, so. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for coming. Uh, so we'll see. A diode or a CO2 laser is definitely on my list of things that I want to purchase next for this shop. But I want to build out this shop as you would, not as a professional woodworker, but as somebody who just wanted to start doing it. Right now. Hi, Mary. I feel like if you just pop in here and I have, a $5,000 laser and a $10,000 table saw and a fully built out shop, like if I was in the main shop and I was, in there doing videos for beginners, it's going to have a very different appeal or an audience. It's going to look very, I don't know. I would have to say it wouldn't look right for me when I watch a video like here's a first time build for somebody or how to start woodworking or something like that, and you've got $50,000 worth of tools and stuff. It's not very beginner friendly in my opinion. Like I'm not going to go spend 50 grand to do that, but a $200 little miter saw. Yep, that's within my budget. Marketplace table saw, which I'm not going to use today. I brought a DeWalt table saw just because it's much quicker setup and it's much better. But still, the overall price on that table saw with the stand was like $600, I think. So it's not a $10,000 saw. So I feel like I'm still within that range of beginner-friendly stuff. So, with that being said, anything that I do for this shop, anything I buy, build, whatever, I want it to be from that standpoint, like a beginner-friendly kind of thing. I'm going to take the money that I make in this building and the profits made from this building, and that's going to be put separately for upgrading this building and these tools. Separate from, it'll still be the business, but oh, I missed Turner. Hi, Turner. How you doing, bud? We're gonna make Turner a mod so that way he feels special. As far as mods go, I'm going to add more as the needs arise. Hi, Pernell, I appreciate it. So if you don't get a mod right away, chances are, if I know you will be a mod. But there's a handful of people watching, so. Anyway, so I guess we'll get started. We're just gonna build the picture that I posted on the community forum, that little Christmas tree thing, which you can build out of fence pickets. So super cheap, easy for anybody to do. All you need is I'm going to use the miter saw and a table saw and a drill. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Turner is very trolly, I think. We'll see how he works out. But so I'm gonna grab my saw. I'm gonna get that set up. Got the fence pickets here. I did run them through the planer just to clean up the kind of rough edge, give them a nice kind of clean look. I didn't do that on the live stream because that planer is stupid loud, and I didn't want to hurt anybody's ears. Catfish, I like it. So while I'm running equipment, I imagine that the mic will be the thing that can mute the stream. Um, while I'm running equipment, I'm going to try to mute. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And I've never built one of these trees before. It's definitely not my plan. I've seen somebody else doing it and went, well, that's pretty nifty. And then the family decided that this would be something that we need to have. So I'm going to build one, or attempt to. We'll see how it turns out. So I appreciate it, Alex. Thank you. Hi, James. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. So the DeWalt saw that I'm using here it's just a little contractor saw. It's nothing special. You can buy it wherever DeWalt tools are sold near you. It is a little more difficult to set up than the Cobalt saw, but it's really not that bad. Four legs that flop down, and then you just drag it wherever you want it to be. And that is not going to work. Well, turn the camera up. Let's see if we can't. I'm going to put you guys back here. You don't really need to see me so much. Yeah, Alex, it can be very finicky. This one I have to readjust my fence at some point, but for this, we're hi Miles, thanks for stopping in. But for this project, we don't really have to worry too much. We're going to be making we're going to be just cutting we're going to just be cutting these fence pickets down into 1 inch wide strips, and then we're going to go to the miter saw and cut them down to size as needed. And they will get put on some dowel rods. There they are. This one is 3/8, and I got a 1/4 inch, I believe. Yeah, 1/4 inch. These are just poplar. I got them from my local Lowe's for, I don't know, $1.50, $2, something like that. They're very cheap. They're 48 inches long. So I don't know how tall this tree will be, but we could probably make a few of them. So that'll be great. How? So I am not fully built out yet. Electricity being out here is a big thing. I have the 220 line ran. It's just not hooked up to anything yet. So my outlets in here are running off of a 20 amp breaker. So I had to unplug the refrigerator. Thankfully it's 60 degrees here. So thanks, Alan. I appreciate that. If I miss anything in chat, I apologize. But I'm sure you guys understand. Thanks for coming to my first live. I'm gonna get this fired up, and like I said, we're gonna make 1 inch wide strips out of the fence pickets. So I'm gonna mute the mic, hopefully, and get these cut up, and then I'll turn this back on. All right. Boy, I really hope that was muted for you guys. So we got 1-inch strips out of a fence spigot, and that gave us five 1-inch strips. All right, should be more than enough for what we need to do. All right, Rhea, I'm glad. So that'll be it for the table saw for now. Get this kind of pushed out of the way. As I build up or build out the shop, get it cleaned up, you get stuff that's not shop related out of here, like, you know, go-kart, things like that. We'll have a much better setup. There won't be so much moving everything around. So might as well put this facing this way. Why not? You guys can see that. This is my super cheap. I needed a miter saw, and this one was on sale. Miter saw. It does everything that I need it to do. Probably even more. As long as I'm within the size limits that it needs to be at. It is only a 10-inch blade, so there are limits to it. But we will... Oh, Rhea, no problem. I just appreciate you... Yeah, this one does have a laser. It's super finicky, but I think I got it set up so that it's at least close to where I'm gonna cut. But Ray, I appreciate you even if you just pop in. I appreciate it a lot. But I have to run into the house really quick. So I'm gonna put you guys onto the laser and let you watch that and talk amongst yourselves for a second. Should be super quick. All right. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Just trip over everything on my way out here. Oh. Goofy bending neck. pretty close, I guess. I could move you over here. Then you can watch the laser and me cut a finger off. Alright. So now you're in my way. To make this tree, we need we just need inch wide strips of this, like I said, dispense picket material. But so we're gonna make 5 of them. We're gonna cut 5 at 10 inches long. We're gonna cut 5 at 9, 5 at 8, 7, 6, etc. And see where we end up. Don't do what now? Cut a finger off? Or, I mean, I hope not. Probably go viral. Let's see if I can. Probably wouldn't be the great kind of viral, but. There we go. Alright. So, I don't have a miter saw station built yet, obviously. Fair enough. I also don't think I have enough room to do what I need to do. So we're going to have to readjust this. And now you don't get to see the laser anymore. So I'm just going to put my back to you here. So we need 5 of them of each size. We're going to start with 10 inches. That'll put the base of the tree about yay wide. It's just under a foot. Almost the length of a sheet of paper for the less incline for measurements. There was a couple of pieces on this that I wanted to cut around, if possible. When you're cutting things like fence pickets in particular, you will very often get it to, like, when you cut it, it'll start bowing like that. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm touching on both ends, but there's a gap in the middle. And that's, when you cut wood, you release internal stresses. These are the 2 that had the big old knot on the bottom. And that allows wood to move different directions, often not the way you wanted it to. This one curled upwards. You know. Now, for a project like this doesn't matter. We're making pieces that are so small. It ultimately doesn't matter. Any bow and stuff in it will be removed, essentially. It'll be so small. So we need 5 of them. Might as well stack these if we can. We'll just do 2 of them at a time because of that bow. And I will mute the mic when I'm doing these. But I don't have a miter saw station built yet here, so I don't have any real stops. Oh, you might like to watch this for a second. It is finishing up, so it's doing the cuts. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Can I? Oh, I can. So it's going to go around 5 times around each little football and smoke out the shop. So I'm going to open a door. That's a really bad angle, isn't it? Kind of puts everything in the way. There it is. So at some point, I'll do lives on. I'll just set the camera up to record laser engraving because each one of these 7 footballs, we're at 3.5 hours now, and it's almost done. So about 3 hours and 40 minutes, maybe. It doesn't take long to cut. I have it set real slow, but that's just because I wanted to make sure it cut through. Yeah. Anyway, let's zoom this back out. All right. Put it back over here. Oh, wow! I zoomed way in. Holy cow! Why? There we go. All right. So we're gonna make some 10 inches long, but I don't have them the station set up yet. So that means that I don't get to just use a stop on a proper stop or a proper station. But I will clamp a stop on here. Because these pieces are small enough I could clamp to my fence. I like it, Alex. That's great. So, got a little block of wood here. I'm just going to use one of these rinky-dink little quick clamps. Oh, maybe. I need a bigger block of wood. It's a good thing I have a bunch. Take a bigger block of wood. There. This clamp is way too big for this. Oh. At some point, I will do a zero clearance insert on this. Because I rather like this saw. But that point is probably going to be after I build a proper miter station. Okay. Give me just 1 second. Okay. So I'm gonna mute this real quick. Yes, like it is double bevel. It's actually set on dual bevel right now. No need for that. Now I'll do that because I'll forget about it. Yeah, it was super cheap, and I'll be honest, it is fantastic. It cuts all the trim that I have in my house, no problems. Works really well out here. Like that. Turn this fan up. Alright. So I'm going to mute you, and I'm going to cut some 10-inch pieces. And so we need 5'10", 5'9", 5'8", etc., down till whenever we feel like being enough. And I probably won't go any smaller than 3 inches on this before parts start flying. This tape measure is one of my favorites. It is super cheap, but it's got this nifty little button to release it. Um, yes, Alan, they are. It doesn't get used near as much as it's supposed to be used, I suppose. Not in my shop. But this tape measure, I've had DeWalt, I've had Milwaukee, I've had Stanley, I've had excuse me, I've had tons of them. I've got a bunch of Harbor Freights laying around here, all over the place. And now that I'm looking at, oh, there's one. I see it. But this one is my favorite. I rather enjoy this. It's good because they're nice little tape measures. It's one thing Hart does very well. I haven't played with many of their things, but the tape measure is very nice. So I'm gonna mute you guys. I'm gonna do some cutting and be back. Sure, I can do that. Um, I I just assume that the tools are gonna blow out people's eardrums. Um, oops. Hi, Matthew. Stanley Fat Max. Yep, those are a good size or a good tape measure. I do really like Delta tools. They are really nice. Um, all right, we'll do. Let's see, 10, 9, 8, 7. We're doing 6 inches now. Yeah, we can run a cut at 6. And see if this particular saw isn't that loud, so this might not actually be an issue. The laser is done running though, and I closed the door, and I didn't sufficiently vent the smoke out of here. This laser doesn't have an extraction hood. The extraction hood is on one that's in the house. It's just got like a little filter that cleans everything up. All right, we'll do a 6 inch here, and we'll see. Make one cut. Like I said, I'm just moving my stop block here because I'm small enough that I can put a block on my fence. I'm just moving this along, measuring it 6 inches to the blade, or measuring it to the blade when I put it down and lock it, and measure it to the blade, clamp it down, and just got to make repeating cuts that way. Even if it's a little off, if it's not quite 6, or in this case 6, or it's a little more than 6, we're going to be stacking them and then cutting them all into like a pyramid shape, a Christmas tree shape anyway. I've never used a Lufkin tape measure. I'll have to look into those. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into this. You think a table saw is noisy? You should hear that DeWalt planer. Whew, boy, that thing is loud. Especially when the blades start to get a little dull. The noise level itself doesn't go up, but the pitch changes. And volume, you can have different tones and pitches at different volumes, or at the same volume, and it'll sound completely different. But that planer will tear your eardrums up. But all right, we're gonna run this. We'll see what it sounds like, I suppose. And yeah, coffee. Yeah, I figured I couldn't hide from the camera too much doing a live stream, so we're here. Yeah, Alan, when you're running wood through it, it's stupid loud. All right. Well, if this one's not gonna blow people's eardrums out, then I won't bother muting the mic. I'll just let it run. I will. I can probably move you guys over here so you can actually see that instead of my back. I have my phone plugged in. I mean, I'm fully charged, but I don't know how quickly live stream will drain my phone. But there we go. All right, so I got one at 6 inches. Should probably check that because I haven't been double checking. Yeah, I'm a 6. Perfect. All right. Might as well rip a few more out of this one. Ooh. going to be sketchy. Alright, this one doesn't slide in, but can do that. No, we're not going to do that. It's too small. Alright, we're just going to cut this one and see what happens. That is definitely not best practice, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Ideally, I'm going to build a fence for this out of just some sacrificial wood. It'll be like, we'll pretend this is what the fence is. So it'll be up here, and obviously it'll be a lot thinner. This is an inch thick, or 4/4, in case nobody knew. When you're looking at lumber, outside of construction lumber, when you go to like a lumber yard, they sell lumber by the quarter. Yeah, yeah, I definitely had the safety squints on. But I'm gonna do like maybe a 1/4 inch, probably plywood, to be honest, on the back, and do a 0 clearance. So I'll clamp it down, or if these holes go through, maybe I'll bolt it down on both sides, and that way, if I cut something small, the only gap will be the blade gap. Hi, kid. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. As opposed to this, where these pieces can get in there, get bound up on the blade, and then that's when you get kickbacks. And I don't want to replace my garage door windows yet, so and I don't want to replace my face or pay for my face to get replaced. But however you want to say it, kickback is never good, and it oftentimes can cause a lot of problems. I got kicked back off the table saw and hit right in the gut one time. That was not a pleasant experience. I did not enjoy that. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. But we need one more at 6 inches. So we got this little piece here that had this big knot in it that I don't want to use. So just make sure that your sawdust is out of the corner there, or you won't get a proper measurement. Now on this, it probably doesn't matter so much, but alright, there's our 6-inch pieces. That was scrap. So we need 5 more at 4, 3. We'll see if we're going to go any smaller. I don't really want to push my luck. One of the things that I would really like you guys to, yeah, Alex, that is, kickbacks are rough. That blade is spinning at like 1,000 miles an hour. And if it grabs that wood, the odds of you stopping it, very slim. We're going to lop this one in half real quick because it is far too long with my fence, and I don't want to move the table again. So we'll cut it at 30. We'll cut it at 31. We're going to be doing some short pieces here. Oops, sorry. So the one of the things that I would, might as well use that. One of the things that I would really like to do with my channel is I'd really like people to be able to come here and do some of the projects. Like I'm going to do that Build with Your Kids series. I'm going to do that probably at least once a month. Put a video out for that. Where it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but you're not trying to build a grandfather clock. You're trying to just get into the shop with your kids and stuff, and I think that's important. But that being said, when I'm doing stuff on camera, I need to try to pay more attention to safety procedures and things. Like I don't do safety glasses, right? Because I have prescription. I mean, I have a pair at work that has the side shields at my day job, but I don't very rarely wear them. I appreciate that, kid. If I could ever get put in the same league as those guys, that would be a dream come true. But like I was saying, safety procedures. There's stuff that I do when I'm not on camera. That is fine because I'm not on camera and I'm not going, "Hey kids, look at this. This is easy." Blah blah blah. Whatever. Things like the table saw. I didn't have the. Didn't have this on. This right here, which keeps you from, touching the blade. They're super inconvenient when you're doing it all the time, but I need to. So I'm going to need you guys to call me out when I'm doing things that are not best practice. How about that? We'll say that. Now there are times where you can't. I'm resawing a piece of wood using the table saw, and the fence, that little guard, it's just not going to work. You're trying to cut something down from an inch to a quarter inch or something. But that's not directed at having children in the shop. So I feel like that'll be a different story. Turner gonna start some stuff. Say DeWalt. All right, Turner. When you go live, you need to tell me how you say DeWalt. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do the stream thing today because everybody watches football, but it said I could go, so I figured might as well. So I appreciate you guys tuning in while you're watching football. Turner, I look forward to hearing how you say DeWalt. I feel like you're from the South, so you'll be something like DeWalt or something. All right, I'm going to cut a couple more at 5 inches. Or I need 5 of them at 5 inches. There's 2. There's 4. Need 1 more. There's 5. Now we need 5 at 4 inches. We're starting to get to that point where I don't know how comfortable I am. Oh, look at that. I am clamped to my sliding fence, which is pretty cool. So I can just slide that right on over the floor. Wow. Didn't even notice that. It's a happy little accident. I don't feel bad, Turner. I don't follow football either. I don't have the time to sit down and watch a game. But I do like to. I'm an Eagles fan, so do with that what you will. But I do pay attention to if they win or lose. Um, I wish I had a milkshake. It'd probably be very dusty. But alright, I'm gonna cut this one. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but they that piece caught a tooth as the blade was spinning down. It kicked over here to the side. Matthew, you'll have to be more specific. What do you mean about veterans' wood carvings? Oh, the Eagles are playing today? Man, that shows you how much of a fan I am. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't tell you who any of the players are because when I'm so my thing with sports is I don't care anything about your life. I don't care, who you're dating or what you had for dinner or what car you drive. You're a number on a team, and I don't even know your name. Once you're off that field, you're no longer my concern, I guess. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like people should have private lives. WWE. Matthew, I've never done a flag. My stepfather is a Navy veteran, and I've been thinking about doing something for him. So maybe we'll do a video sometime and see what's going on. I will. We're making little wooden Christmas tree things. The little spiral ones. They're not very big, but I guess you can make them as big as you want. Yeah, Turner, I think I could do it. It would be if I did it out of different shades of wood, different colors of wood. It would be a very intricate. If I did it on the engraver, it would probably be much easier. I could probably do it on the engraver and color fill. And try to get some, color onto it instead of just a black or dark burn. But yeah, I'm gonna look into that because I'd like to make something for my stepdad. So, and he is a Navy veteran, so he definitely likes Navy stuff. But yeah, that's not a half bad idea, Matthew. Thanks for that. All right, we are going to attempt a 3-inch piece. I'm not going to say it's going to work. We're going to attempt it. But that is probably about as small as I'm willing to go because I don't want to get hit. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to do these one piece at a time so there's less flying projectiles. And I'm going to stand on this side of the saw so that I don't get hit with anything on that side. They do have the clamp. There's a clamp on this side where you could hold this piece down and then hold your offcut piece. But I'm 3 inches, so I'm real close to that saw. And I'm not going to stop it if it wants to kick back. So. Yeah, I'm trying to pay attention to chat at the same time and not just kind of zone out and do this thing. But we're almost done with the cutting, so that'll change up priorities a little bit, I guess. I definitely don't want to be looking at chat while I'm trying to cut. Matthew, I do have a chunk that I glued up to do some carving for an American flag. I'm thinking about. I've never done any power carving before, but so I just went and got some 2x4s and cut them up into appropriate size pieces, right, and glued them together to make a big flag, kind of blank, right, like a giant cutting board. It's made out of 2x4, and so I've got to just go after it with the power carving stuff and see what I can do with it. That one will probably never turn into anything but a test piece. But I've seen people stain wood, like they cut each piece the same width as a stripe on the flag, and then they stain it. So this one's going to be red, this one's white, next one's red, right? So that when they make flat flags, you have it's already there. You don't have to do anything, and it's stained. They usually use a really nice stain that sinks into the wood really far. So when they can do sanding on them, it doesn't really get rid of everything, which is really nice. That's really cool. I like the I don't know if you're doing the hidden gun boxes or storage boxes or whatever you want to call them. But I'm a big fan of hidden compartments, and I've got quite a list of things. I've got quite a list of things to build. Obviously for myself, and then for sale. But all right, let me do these last 5 3-inch pieces, and we'll see what our little flag turns into, or our little. Oh, nice. That's really cool. Talking about flags, but we'll see how our tree looks out. I'll put the saw down and we'll lay it out here on this table. I hope this counter will be big enough. If not, we'll adapt. All right. I don't think that's so bad. We're going to go ahead and skip that one. Alright, that didn't go as bad as I thought. We got 5 3-inch pieces. That'll be it for our. Oh, you know what we should do? Is we should make a little base. Yeah, we'll do that later. Let's make the Let's make the tree first. No point in having a base if there's no tree. Alright. So, I'm going to I'm going to play musical instruments here for a minute. Get this stuff moved out of the way. So that, so far, wasn't even the whole fence picket. I still have a whole 1-inch strip here. So, like I said, I'm just using fence pickets because they're cheap, they're easily accessible, at least around here. Based on what I see on the internet, they're easily accessible pretty much everywhere. Yeah, I'll, you know, I thought about building out a trailer and doing stuff, you know, traveling to people's houses and doing stuff, but I'm not much of a carpenter, as in doing things in people's houses like a contractor would. I tend to take way too long to do things. People probably wouldn't enjoy that. Probably should have put these somewhere that they weren't going to get blasted with sawdust. Yeah, contractors make hellacious money. Really good money. Constantly. I mean, but they've got to deal with some stuff that I don't have to. So I kind of think that maybe I lucked out on this side. Gonna move these pieces off to the other bench here, just so I can clean this off. I don't know if you guys seen the little rambling video that I did, but I haven't been out in the garage for very long, so I don't have anything really built out here. I've got a little bench over there. It's like 2 foot by 4 foot. It is currently, here. Let me just do this. We're going to do a little shop tour of Dan's garage that is not a shop. All right, hang on. There we go. Yeah, I know they have little hand brooms. I've got some brooms right here, you know. All right, so there's my elegant Woodcraft hoodie. As you can see, insulation is a thing, except for that little section over there. Leaf blower. Yeah, they make these tiny little dust vacuum things, and I'm really thinking about getting one. But I got an air compressor that I got to get hooked up, so the blowgun generally works well. There's my little laptop, my planer sitting under there on the box, because that's what this table's for, until I get things built out, right? So there's the laser. It's done cutting out. Made a whole mess of them, and a bunch more over here. I have one somewhere that didn't turn out well. We're not going to talk about my mess. Yeah, we're not going to look at that. So there's my little diesel heater out here. It's really really convenient. As you can see, insulation needs to continue, and up there. This is it's not supposed to be up there. This is some purple poplar here and here. This is a really pretty piece of cherry. So I'm going to make some jewelry boxes with that. There's my floor. That that drain will probably never work again. So this is all going to go away as I work my way back there, getting rid of stuff. I'm going to do a wood stove over there in that corner. Obviously, this is my garage, so it has a bunch of stuff stored in it. But I'm going to do a wood stove over there in that corner. This insulation will stop right there and right there. And rock wool will be in there with a fireproof backer for the wood stove, and the pipe's just going to go right out the ceiling there. That won't be here. That's been here for 4 years because that's how motivated I am to dig a trench. All that's just nonsense. My little cornhole board thing. The very first set of cornhole boards that I've ever made is up there, and I use them every year. There's my tiny little jointer in here, my little benchtop joiner. Some handprints on that dusty cabinet. Ton of scraps. I'm really bad at scraps. I got scraps everywhere. So this is that little bench that I was telling you about. Yeah, it's currently covered in stuff. But it's just a temporary bench. It's not going to be here for long. And then the fridge with the Krabby Man jig koozies, obviously. So yeah, that's my shop currently. We're going to, whoops, mess this all up now. Bendy neck thing. We're going to slowly get that taken care of. Right? Them are some pretty nice koozies. There's even one in here that's clean, right? So like, this one got all dirty because I don't know reasons, and this one back here is still actually pretty clean. Isn't that amazing? This tripod is terrible. The bendy neck is the thing that gives me the hardest trouble. Although, Turner, if you let me make sure this isn't showing anything crazy. So this koozie, right? This is one of my favorite koozies. It's got magnets on the back of it, and it does this. I mean, right? It's got 3 little magnets. I didn't think it was going to hold a drink to a metal surface, but you should probably look into that. And then I don't have to tuck your koozies up underneath the handle anymore. I can stick them to the fridge. Right, Alan? Right? I've never seen them before, other than from the Cornwell dealer at work. I had absolutely no idea. It came with my toolbox when I bought a new toolbox. Spend $8,000 on a koozie, you get your free toolbox. But so what we're going to attempt to do here, if I understand what they want to happen with this, is so they want these to be laid out like this. And I think the reason that they were having you cut 5 of each, size in inch increments is so that you weren't having to change every single cut. Like, if I can find those koozies somewhere, I am getting that logo printed on them, and I'm going to make all of the money. I'll never make another piece of wood again, or wood product again. I'll just be making bank off them koozies. Yep, that's exactly right, Turner. So what we have to do is we've got to. I don't have a drill press out here, which would make this way easier. So I'm going to have to get a drill press from, I don't know, I'll see what's on Marketplace or Harbor Freight. It doesn't have to be a big one. But that's how big our tree will be, which is, if I squeeze it down, that's 20 1/4 inches. So plus whatever you have coming out the bottom and the top. A dowel? A dowel rod? Is that the word you were trying to spell? This? A little round thing? I got this smaller one because I was wondering if I couldn't make some, little ones. And now that I see this laid out, I can. I will not use the chop saw. I would use the table saw. And just run smaller pieces through it. Maybe do like a, because this isn't that big. It's not as big as I thought it would be. But right? You'd have to get one that like curls around the top, but not where the mouthpiece is, so you're not drinking whatever's on there. So then, anyway, once we get it drilled together, or drilled and then put together, the idea is to run a straight edge. Let's see if we can do it with these dowel rods. So you go from the corner up to however pointy you want the top to be. And that, as long as you're, man, that is really terrible. Hey, let me move you over here. I don't know how charged my phone is, but I mean, it's fully charged, so it should be fine for a while. So, as long as when you run your straight edge, you miss all these corners, you should be fine. For any angle that you want. So you could, keeping these same measurements, you could go 2-inch blocks on the end, probably 11, 12-inch blocks on this end. You can put a little star on the top. Oh, I should have had the... Yeah, it's got to say Coke up there. I should have had the laser run me a star or two so I could glue them together and drill a hole in. Actually, how many of these do I have? I can have it print out a star probably really quick. Give me just 1 second. So we got 7. All right. You got, ooh. That didn't cut. I should have ran that again. As long as I'm ripping off the trash instead of off the back of my footballs. This one didn't. This one didn't cut all the way through. That's disappointing. But so 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I've got enough of the footballs, so those would have been extras, which would have been nice. But I have another pile over there that didn't cut through either. But I could have the laser run me a star. I will worry about that later. I don't even know if this is going to work. Yeah, they wanted something super cheap. And I said, well, I can do cheap. And that's what we went with. Is I guess the football team isn't paying for little sign trophy things. It's one of the coaches or teachers or something, parents. I'm not sure, but they wanted cheap, and why not? So that was about as cheap as I could get on short notice because they have to be done by Friday. They have a game on Friday, and I guess they want to give them out. So they only wanted 12 of them for the kids. There's 10 coaches. I decided I'd throw in 10 for the coaches. But they're gonna have this kind of thing cut out on stuck fast to it. So yeah, Turner, that's exactly what I do. I throw it on the floor, and then eventually it'll annoy me that it's in the way, and I'll clean it up. But I don't have my dust collection out here. It's in the basement, in that shop. I want to get this shop built out first before I put proper dust collection in here. And all I'm going to do for that dust collection is I'm going to have it, instead of blowing into a bag, I'm going to have it blow through the wall outside into a trailer. Just a little like a lawnmower trailer, like a little tiny trailer. So that way it's outside. I'm not taking up space in here, and I can have the fan blower thing above the roof. I can have it up there, and then just have drop downs for connecting things. Until then, I get to clean a lot, and I found every spider web in this garage a few days ago when I turned the planer on, and I faced it this way. Because the planer sends chips everywhere at very high speeds. And here. Look. Come. There you go. Let's see. Look, there's spider webs up there. Around my... Oh, come on. There we go. Like, all up in there. Like, all back there. Yeah. There's a... once I was done planing stuff, I was like, wow, that's a lot of spider webs that I didn't know existed. Also, I didn't know that the wood would fly that far up. I guess it hit the garage door and just went everywhere. Wow, it got chilly. But, so, let's see. I need a 3/8" dowel rod, or a drill bit. which I conveniently cannot find at the moment. So I'm going to use this one. All right. Yep, we'll use that. So what we need to do is we need to find center on every one of these. So 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3. So the center of this one should be 1.5 inches, right? Logically. And we're going to just punch holes through it. I'm not overly concerned about them being super even because we're going to trim it. It'll just, if it's off, it'll just make it a little crooked. So we're going to get started on this. I've got this thing, so we're going to go 1.5 inches. And then 1/2 inch in. Right there. Hey, wow, look at that. So, let's. Alright. So we got one made. Wonder. I'll probably screw this up royally, but we're going to find out what happens. Alright, well I don't want to do that again, but there are holes in it. Oh goodness. This is not a 3/8 dowel? What the crap? That is a giant dowel rod. A tiny little hole. May have to run this dowel on some sandpaper here, thin it down a little bit. Man. Hang on. Then again, it would probably help if I had the 3/8 drill bit. Much better. All right. So I see that as I got towards the bottom when I did the whole stack, my hole got off center that way, so definitely not something we want to do again. But there's those. We can put the off-centered ones towards the top. Anyway, there's the start. I'll be squeezed down, obviously. Turner, what time are you planning on doing your live today? If you're still here. So with these, with this little adjustable square, it's an inch. This blade is an inch wide, and there's this little notch right here in the center. So it makes finding the center easy if you do it face down. Then the pencil just kind of sits right in there. I do have a little drill guide thing. Huh. Never mind, it's not out here. And I don't want to go in the house again. So I will have to make sure that I have that out here. So we're not exactly being gentle here because this one it's probably not going to go anywhere but the scrap bin. So, I mean, I'll keep the dowel rod, but these little, this thing, I'll probably keep it for the first live. Like the first time I went live, it was a little memento, but it probably won't go in the house. So, typically you'd want to pay attention to when you're drilling so you don't have blowout like that on the other side. And this is cedar, so it's super soft. Also, I suppose I could have cut this down instead of having a 12-foot long dowel rod. Do that. I'm going to cut this thing. So we're going to go with, oh, I don't know, that long. Oh. There. That'll be a lot easier to handle. So 3 inches. So who's winning the different football games you guys are watching? I don't even know if there's more than one game on. That's not center. Oh. I'm gonna set my measurements on every one of those. Eagles are winning? Nice. Nice. Is it the first half or the second half? Because, you know, they usually only do good in one of the halves. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're going to use a, we're going to do this. Instead of drilling off the side of the table, I'm going to drill into a, there, cuts down on my blowout. Makes it a lot easier to handle. Waterboarding. Get him, Turner. Wait, are you sure you didn't do it? Alright, so we're getting there. It's going to be, so the reason I'm not overly concerned about like being centered this way, like top to bottom, is because I like the spiral style, and you won't know that it's not centered. So, you know, whatever. So this might actually go in my house. I don't know yet. We'll find out. So this one's 3 inches. Thanks, Turner. So this one is really just a proof of concept. So since I know how to do it, I like to prototype everything. Sometimes I'll get a little happy on the prototypes and go a little too hard on them. But I like to prototype everything because then I'm using something cheap, and it doesn't matter if I need to scrap it or make adjustments to it without it looking pretty. So this is going to be a prototype. I would definitely recommend using a drill guide for it so you get proper holes. At least a drill guide, one of those things you mount your cordless drill into, or your corded drill. But drill presses at like Harbor Freight are cheap. And good luck, Alan. So I may definitely get a I may definitely go and get a drill press from Harbor Freight sooner rather than later. So because we know we're cutting the ends off, things like this, while it may add, character to it, if you don't want to do anything to it, you may want to paint it or, something. But since it's getting cut off, I'm going to make sure that one is at the top so the most of it gets cut off. Yeah. So that'll have it get cut off right at the edge of that little knot there. Then again, you don't. I'm curious if you even need to cut it off to make it look like a tree. You may, if you're going to spiral it. Oh, wow! Some of those are really tight. If you're going to spiral it. Oh, goodness. Well, you don't have to worry about it just randomly spiraling on its own, I guess. Have to find whatever happy medium spiral is, that you like. But if you're going to spiral it, I don't know that you rightly have to cut it off. I mean, it'd probably make it look better, depending on which angle you're looking at. But if you look at it from this angle, it kind of looks like it's already tapered. So you look at it like that, and it looks like it's made out of wood scraps, which I mean, it is, but I'm sure somebody out there have a different opinion. Alright, so this one should be 7 inches, so I need 3.5 to center. The Wind drill press is good. Which, do they have multiple sizes, or are they just like little benchtop ones, like with, I don't know, 6-inch throw? I haven't looked at many of the Wind tools, so. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check into that, because if they're good tools, then why not? I mean, I've seen a lot of the Wind tools when I'm on things like Amazon, and they seem to have a lot of good reviews. Nice. Yeah, Alan, I think you're right. I think it'll look a lot better angled. Oh, got one more. Well, Alan, if you end up making one, 12-inch opening, seven gears, nice. Alan, if you end up making one, I expect to see pictures of it. Of the first one. I'm really surprised that, I mean, I don't Oh, goodness. Oh. I'm really surprised that there hasn't been much trolling going on. Oh, come on, Alan. It costs like $4. Well, here, anyway. $3 for a fence picket and... Well, I guess $5. Because, you know, the tools don't count. You needed to buy those anyway, so... If you don't already have them. I appreciate that, Henry. I kind of expected the general public to happen across it, but there you go, Alan. You can make them out of make it out of 2x4 scraps or whatever it is that you're cutting up. When you do a roofing job for somebody, do it, Turner. Do it. When you're doing a roofing job for someone, you can you can build them a little Christmas tree as a thank you. A sideways tree. I see a lot of trees that are on their side, but they're usually because they fall down. Hi, John. Appreciate you stopping in. Hi, Logan. Thanks for stopping in. I don't want to interrupt anybody's nap. We're just building a little Christmas tree thing here as like a little prototype thing. I'm listening to Turner. He's trying to behave, I guess. Yours will look like a hurricane in it. I don't know. That might be an aesthetic that somebody likes. You could, you might be onto something. You could make a bank, or you could make bank off of it. Oh, frozen Alfredo. I shouldn't be talking. I eat pizza rolls like they're going out of style. So, in fact, tonight on your stream, I'll be I'll be making cheeseburgers. Yes, Logan, that's exactly what it's going to be. We're going to do the spiral tree thing. So we're getting this all put together. As you can see, I am nowhere near centered on that. So, yeah, definitely a drill bit or a drill press of some sort would be wonderful. But we'll turn it around the ones that are the most egregious and see if they kind of even out a little bit. But yeah, we're gonna get them all put together like this. We're gonna squeeze it down so that it kind of gets rid of all the gaps, and then we'll cut down the sides to make it angled, and we'll make a little base for it. And then Alan is going to make some tomorrow for his wife. His will probably be much larger because, well, it's Alan, so. Do it, Alan. I think you should do it, Alan. You should make a 6 foot tall one. Yeah. That would be a lot of lumber. I've seen Alan's place. He's got trees around. It'll be fun. Well, I've seen it on the stream. I'm assuming that's his place. Or his pictures and videos. make one 6 feet tall, but with just 1/4 inch dowel in the middle. See what happens. Yeah, that table is still up. I will have to before I disassemble stuff that's in my basement shop, I will have to take some pictures of it. Everything that's down there was built for temporary. It wasn't supposed to be permanent. And I don't know if you can hear that fire siren going off. But everything that was built down there as a temporary thing turned into a permanent thing. So none of it was built to last longer than a few days. Well, and the 1/4 inch dowel rod's not supposed to last terribly long. It only needs to get you through one season, and then you build another one next year. And then eventually you build one with a telephone pole for the center. And hi, Granny. I think a giant spiral tree with like a huge post in the middle, that'd be pretty cool. It would cost a lot of lumber, and you'd have to think of some way to stop the lumber from warping and twisting. But because I don't know about you, but I don't have 15-foot ceiling.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, cancel. It thought I was talking to him. Alan, I'm not going to build it. I was talking about you building one. I mean, a big one would be really cool, but it would have to be like an all-the-time thing, just out in the yard. Really, really big Lexicons. I suppose you could build one out of... If you use something like full fence pickets, like that was the whole thickness of the level, or each layer. If you use something like cedar, I don't know, that might be pretty interesting. Make one 6 feet tall. I'd probably use like 100 fence pickets, so that would be well, around my area it'd be about $400, not counting the pole. Nice, John. It's always great when Santa brings exactly what you paid for. I bet I could make a really big tree. it wouldn't last. I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to do it. Just to see how long it would last. I would have to build it out of cedar for the rot resistance. I mean, you could use pressure treated. Around me, pressure treated fence picket is like $2.50 a piece. So you'd save a little money, but they're all wet, so you would have to let them dry. When they dried, they would definitely bow and warp and twist. If you use something like maybe a 3-inch dowel, make it all ebony. The stainless steel screws are definitely nice for cedar because then they don't leave that rust line. A guy up the road just put up a cedar fence, and he did it all himself. He did a really good job on it, but it took about a month for the black lines out of every nail. Because he didn't stain it or seal it or anything. He just stuck it up and then called it good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's going to last terribly long, but I mean, more power to him, I guess. You know, he did it. He put up a fence. I don't know what his intentions were with it, but you know, if he only needs it to be there for a few years. Hi, Gary. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I don't know if he's got little kids, so maybe he only needed to pen the kids in for a short while, or maybe he is expecting it to last forever. But I was surprised that he put a fence up, to be honest. And he'd only been talking about it for a few years. I got distracted and I never adjusted my center. So I drilled those all at 4.5 inches to the center from one side. So, Logan, I don't know if he sealed any of it. He built it in probably 2 weeks. It was, and in one day, the entire, so he did a frame for a fence, so he had the post, the post, and then he had a top rail and a bottom rail. Instead of, building like panels and then attaching them to the posts. But that whole assembly was up without pickets I went to work one day and he was digging holes. And I came home and the whole run was up. So. And it didn't look like it was even pressure treated lumber, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I need to cut 5 more. I need to cut 5 more. It's a good thing I got this extra piece here. 5 to 10 inches. Because I goofed. So bear with me just a moment. All right. A little block of wood. 10 inches. Sorry about this, guys. All right. Boy, when I get a miter station built, this will be a lot nicer. Then when I goof, I just have to drag the camera off to the side. All right, let's do this again. Half of 10 is 5 this time, so. Yeah, forgetting you have a chop saw, huh? That's although I guess to be fair, if it's something that I'm not using every day, I will generally forget that I even have it as well. I have so many of these because well, I keep forgetting that I bought one. The good old handsaw. I am not a handsaw expert. As you guys will see when I get that video posted of this thing. When I get the full length video of this posted, I used a handsaw instead of power saw because I wanted to do it, you know, kid friendly. And good golly, I forgot how terrible handsaws are. A sign for the upper right, huh? So I'm thinking, I don't know, are you mean on the screen itself or here? Because I was thinking about making a sign that goes across the top of the door here. As long as the door would miss it when it opens. Because I still need the door to open so I can get lumber and larger products in and out. God bless America, this stupid squiggly thing. There we go. Actually, the sign that is at Turner's was hanging up in here. But his original box apparently got lost. And so I made that, or I just threw that sign in the box. I cut it down smaller because it was a lot bigger. It went across, it went in front of the window. But I liked the way that it looked because when I burned it, it left like instead of a black burn on the wood, it left like a golden hue, and I was like, man, that is pretty. That turned out really nice. So I didn't burn it again. I didn't run over it. I didn't change the settings on it or nothing. I liked it, so I kept it. So that's now in Turner's shop. Yeah, Logan, I'm in the process of cleaning and insulating all of this. You can see my little tarp, just because the attic space, I guess you call it attic, is fully vented, and that little heater works really well in here when there's not wind blowing in from the eaves. So as I get things taken out of here, God bless America. This stupid squiggly. Whatever. You can see the table. That's good enough. As I get things moved out of here into another location that's not here, I put insulation up, and I figured I'm not going to do anything crazy in here. I'm just going to end up putting some kind of either drywall up or hell, my house had paneling in it when I bought it, and I just pulled sheets down and stuck it in the basement, thinking maybe I would use it on the roof down there in the basement. So maybe I'll throw some paneling up in here. Good old 1960s paneling. And I'm thinking about doing that pallet wall. Right? I don't need anything crazy in here. It's not for pretty, it's for making money. But I am thinking about doing a pallet wall. Just because I like the way it looks. I just the pallet fence. I don't know how I really feel about it. I think pallets are really cool to work with sometimes. I've got back in there. I have a bunch of pallets that I tore apart. They were really nice pallets, and I think there's red oak, white oak, and something else back there. And then I have another white oak pallet up here. No, a poplar pallet up here that I didn't know they made pallets out of. At least I think it's poplar. I haven't cut that one down yet. I was gonna use it as like a kind of like a display wall thing to put stuff on to take pictures. Just put something inside of it like some white insulation or something, like this stuff, like leftovers from that, stick it in behind it, the first layer. And I don't know. It was an idea, but making a tripod out of wood. The pallet walls, I think that looks really cool. If it's all the same kind of wood, like it's all pine or oak or whatever, and it kind of looks weird. But if it's all different colors, um, I think it looks really cool. Which is, I'm waiting on Turner to send me some measurements, but that's what I'm going to ship to Turner, and he's going to put it up on his back wall. I'm going to cut them down. I'm going to thin them out. So instead of being, what's a pallet, half an inch thick, we'll make it, a quarter of an inch, something like that. So it's something easy to put up, but, and lightweight to ship because it's going to be upside down. I will write you detailed directions so you can't screw it up. I will label each one of them. I will pre-assemble it right here. Pre-assemble it and label each piece and write you directions. Okay, so that's how we look so far. Let's ignore all the cattywampus. Oh God, all the catty. Excuse me. Getting a little thirsty in here. Ignore all the cattywampus bits. I'll take care of that on the next round. Although I could probably shove this whole thing through the planer. I had to take care of the cattywampus bits. Lead fumes. Yeah, we have a bunch of people around me that a bunch of companies, I guess, that get tons of pallets. And I will go up there on occasion. I haven't lately because I've been working on the shop here. But I will go there on occasion to different places and dig through their pallets, try to find ones that are in good shape and that are interesting looking wood. Because if I'm going to make a wall, I want it to look interesting. I don't want it to just be plain, All right, so we need to do. Oh goodness. All right. Well, we need to make a base. Let's do that after we get this all cut. Get these spun around so they're. Well, good Lord, some of them are tight. All right, so we need to make a base. So I need a straight edge. There we go. That's a straight edge. It's just a straight edge. You can buy it. I think I got this one at Lowe's with a 90-degree attachment. It's not a true 90. It has some play, but it does the job for me when I need to break down stuff, and I don't want to go buy a track saw. All right, so we're going to do that. See how that works. And then we're going to do another one. Oh, that's a good idea, Henrik. I didn't even think about that. Let's get this out of here before we drop it. Yeah, we've got straight edge right here, handle. Well, son of a biscuit. About as close to a straight edge as I need. I do have chalk line, Alan. Yeah. I do a local weather tech, huh? Logan, I think that might be what one of the companies is up the road. They do HVAC. Or at least I'm assuming that's what they do, because they always get like they get big pallets of stuff, but then they get big crates. So they're made out of, like, I don't know, plywood, some junky plywood. It's not usually useful for anything, but yeah, that's pretty clever for the broom handle thing. I'd imagine, as long as it's not a tapered handle. Like I've got shovels that have kind of like a taper to them, and I probably wouldn't make a straight edge. Nice, Logan. Alex, that's really cool. Alex, I have made one chessboard, and I didn't like how it turned out. And I didn't get around to making a new one. It is on my list of things to do, though. Man, Logan, you need to send them to me. Send me the good ones. All right, I'll tear down. I'll spend a week out here tearing down pallets. Get a little pallet breaker, or a zip saw, something. I'll tear them down. What we are going to do is probably sketchy, but we're going to use this super fancy Milwaukee saw. That is going to give me the cleanest of clean cuts. Because I just want to get this cut out and see what it looks like. I actually, John, I have a standing fishing rod holder that I've been working on the design for, and that's going to be one of my videos that I make. It's going to use a lot of routers. There's going to be a lot of routing going on. Yeah, Alex, I used black walnut and hard maple. I got it flat. It was nice, but it was my joints, where each little square meets the next one. I didn't have, some of those joints weren't very tight. They had little gaps, and it looked like garbage. If I'm not happy with it, then I won't allow it to leave my shop. I would rather burn it and make a new one than let people see things that are subpar. If they're paying for it. If it's something that I'm trying to show off, I want it to look perfect. Yeah, it's a terrible thing. I struggle with it a lot, because sometimes I'll make something, and I made some end tables, and I agonized over those things for a long time. before. Somebody else told me that everything that I was telling them that was wrong with it, they couldn't see. They had no way to know that that was wrong, even with me pointing it out. Uh, so I try really hard, but it's not always easy. So we're going to try to run this saw down here and see what happens. John, if you get kiln dried wood and you allow it to acclimate to your shop, wherever you're going to build it, you usually don't have a shrinkage problem because you're going to seal it. If you left it unsealed, then it would change with humidity. And that's when you would have your, this piece of wood might swell faster than this piece or shrink faster than this piece, and you'd start breaking. Well, you could break glue joints, but you'd probably break the wood just off of the glue joint where it's going to be weaker. Thanks, Purnell. I appreciate that, buddy. Was that saw retarded loud? Like, was that really loud? Should I mute it for this next cut? All right, good deal. I'll make this cut, and then we'll make a base, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so all right, there's our tapered tree. Need to build a base for it, but pretty convenient. We already have these parts that have holes in them for some reason. So we can do this. Obviously, they need to be a little smaller, but we can do that. And then we can make little feet underneath there. If this thing will stand up. One of these holes is a little wobbled out. But so we'll make a little base. We'll put a little feet under it. I don't know if you guys can see that. But for now, we can start turning this. I don't know what a good spiral pattern would be, but I'm going to go with a little bit of an overlap, like a third. Ooh. Some of them are very hard to turn. on your time. Yeah, I think so. I skipped the Halloween thing, um, and I'm gonna skip the Thanksgiving uh, product batch. I think I'm going to jump right into getting some Christmas stuff uh, done up. Once I get these little football things done, I will start doing cutouts for Christmas tree ornaments. Which, I mean, this what I'm doing there isn't really. I don't really call that woodwork. That's just I run a program and the laser does things and then I sand it and glue it together. You know. Oh goodness. But making stuff like this, little cheap. Some of these are really hard to turn. They really latched on. Making stuff like these, I think, will be a really, really cool thing. I don't usually see too many people making things like this around here. Maybe they do, and I miss them. But I know in a time frame like in a time like this, there's a lot of people that are having a hard time, but they still want to decorate for Christmas. So stuff like this. How long have we been live? 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and first time making one of these, so it took a little longer. Plus playing with you guys and goofing around in the beginning. Oh, well, Spiral got messed up. I don't know that I really like this whole spiral thing, like a full spiral. But I don't have to like it, I guess. There's a great number of things that I do are not because I like the way it looks. It's all about what other people like. That's not terrible. That's not bad. Put a little star or ball or something of these on there. Oh, Logan, I have seen that where they just have them kind of like scattered all willy-nilly. Oh, goodness. Boy, without having a functional base on here, this can get all crazy. Somewhere to lock that. Oh, there we go. I've seen them be like all cattywampus, kind of like that. But yeah, I think I think these will be really. I think these will be really cool. But like I was saying, there's a lot of people that are having a hard time, and this took all the 2 hours. I mean, for the very first time ever building one, and I bet that if I stood here for a day, I could probably batch out. Oh, I don't know, probably 40 or 50 of these in different sizes. A bow would look pretty cool on it. Yeah, bow on top, and then obviously a proper base. That needs to happen. But there's the prototype, and if you leave it mobile, so that you can move them, you can change it up however you want and whenever you want. Plus, you can squeeze it flat to store. But so this was the cost of a fence picket and half of a dowel rod. So $5. I mean, I think if you made them and sold them for $10, you're doubling what it cost you. Yes, your time is valuable, but if I charged $50 an hour to make one of those, the very first time I made one, that would be $100 to make that. Ain't nobody paying that. So, and I would not charge somebody like that. So, I think if you batch them out for $10, then people can have something cool for Christmas. They can paint it, run it through the planer, right? Make sure everything's nice and flat, not all crazy like this one. But people can paint it and have a good time. They get their kids to have fun with it. You could probably paint them, paint the ends of it like red, and then the flat faces green. I greatly appreciate it, guys. So this I think I'm going to make a bunch of these. I'm going to batch a bunch out. We'll see what happens. I'm going to do it properly and make it, better. But I think as a prototype, I'm really happy with it. I'll come up with different things to put on the top, and I will come up with a way to build a quick base. Yeah, I'm not upset with it. And I think the height of it's not terrible. I think building a couple of small ones to go with it would be really cool. Maybe half this height. How tall is this thing? The overall height is 26 inches. I think if you built a couple that were 13 to go with it, maybe one that was, 7, 8 inches. I think a couple different sizes, and you can have something really cool. And in fact, I've got a fireplace in there with a nice raised, I don't know what you call it, the hearth or whatever, where it sits on the ground. It's raised up about 1 foot, 8 inches. So we like to put stuff on there. And yeah, mini hooks, that would be really cool. Glitter. So I think I'm going to make a couple of these, and I'm going to stage them up in my house. And I have a really good friend of mine that I bet would love a couple of these. So I'm going to batch out a few of these one day. Probably, I got to make Alan's signs first. I got to finish his signs. I got to finish that video so I can actually get rolling on things. Recording takes so long. I will, I got you, Alan. I got you. So, yeah, I think that was a cool little project. When I do the fine tuning and make it up, I think I'll do a proper video. Yeah, editing sucks. Editing sucks so bad. For that, I don't know what I did with it. That little sign, that key holder thing. Oh, here it is. The video of me making this is 2 hours long. There's only about half an hour of building in this whole thing. All right, Alan. I will make one, and I'll make sure I stick it in the box with your 2 signs, which they should be getting mailed out here they'll be mailed out by the end of this month for sure. Yeah. So there's an hour and a half of me just blathering on like an idiot through this build. But while I'm doing it, I'm doing things. So cutting out all the stupid is really, that's what takes me the longest. Alan, Well, until I have a website set up, I guess we could do like Cash App or something. That'll probably be how I do payments for now. Until I get a website set up that's linked to the bank account. I'll just have to be careful on how I do that for the business side. I don't have Venmo. I mean, I could probably get Venmo. I really should have the big payment methods that people have, because I like to go to shows and things. And if you go, hey, I take cash, or you can swipe your card on this little square thing, then not everybody carries stuff like that. But yeah, I'll get a Venmo. Make a short of the live stream too. I didn't know you could make shorts of live streams. I thought the live stream just posted up and was there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to have Turner explain that one to me. Logan's about to hop on Facebook Marketplace or something and start finding people that are making these to sell. Hi, Janelle. Thanks for stopping in. Glad you can make it. I know it's early on your side of the country. We just made a little spiral tree. Oh, you can make us a windmill. Oh, that'd be cool. That's clever. Make it wider in the middle and taper down. That'd be a really heavy windmill, but well, yeah, everybody wants windmills. Hey, I think that'll turn out to be a really cool project to make. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. So we're getting up to the 6 o'clock my time, which means Turner should be getting ready to go live. And I don't really have anything else to say. So before all right, Steph. We'll see you later. Thanks. I know you like the tree. You'll get a few. So Turner's going to start going live here shortly, I'm sure. So thanks to everybody for stopping in for my first live. I got 22 likes there. That is awesome. I appreciate it a lot. We're going to see what we can do, different projects during weekly, maybe. So thanks, guys. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch you all later. Probably over on Turner's channel. Bye, Alan. Bye, Pernell, John, Janelle, Henrik. Thanks, you guys, for all stopping by. I don't know how to turn this off. X.